Hello, my name's Jack, and this is my tale of light. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful doll's house, and in it lived two dolls, Lucinda and Jane. Jane was the cook, though she never did any cooking. One day, the two dolls went for a ride in the perambulator. It's a posh word for pram. All was quiet until a scratching noise could be heard coming from the corner of the room. From a hole in the skirting board appeared two ears and a twitchy nose. It was Tom Thumb. "Psst," he called. Hunca Munca, his wife, popped her head out. "Coast clear," she said. The two mice scurried across the floor to the doll's house. Hunca Munca pushed at the front door. It was not fast. Inside was pitch black. They tiptoed in. "Ow, watch it, that's my foot!" Until Tom bumped into a switch on the wall. Ping! The whole house burst in brilliant light. "Electricity!" exclaimed Hunca Munca. "Our little hole doesn't have electric light." "So, period features," noted Tom. "Yeah, lots of potential," agreed Hunca Munca. They peered into the dining room and squeaked with joy. There, laid out upon the table, was the most beautiful feast. Tom grasped a knife and set about carving the ham. Bang! The knife bent. "How?" He tried to lift the ham off the plate. But it wouldn't budge. "Let it alone," said Hunca Munca. "Let's try the fish instead." She used every tin spoon in turn, but the fish was glued to the plate. "This food is fake," she exclaimed. "That does it," said Tom. He fetched the coal shovel and hit the ham. Bang, bang, smash, smash. And then those two mice set about causing all the mischief they could. The doll's clothes? Out the window. The pictures on the wall? Smash, 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 smash. Hunca Munca attacked a feather bolster. Tom? He was banging a chair against the wall. "Yeah? Instead of breaking all this lovely stuff, why don't we keep it for ourselves?" The two mice raced back across the carpet, carrying the furniture. First the rocking chair, but it wouldn't fit. Then the chest of drawers. No good. Finally, the feather bolster. Hunca Munca started stuffing it into the hole. "Yeah, it'll never fit," said Tom. "I want a feather bed," exclaimed Hunca Munca. When suddenly there was a noise from outside. Footsteps on the landing. "They're back! Quick!" The door began to open. Finally, the feather bolster plopped through the hole, followed by the two mice. The dolls returned to a scene of devastation. Lucinda leant on the wall for support, though the two of them didn't say anything. The next morning, there was a policeman stationed outside. "Hello, hello, hello. What's going on here then?" "I feel guilty," said Tom. "We are bad mice," agreed Hunca Munca. And so, that is the story of the two bad mice. Although, they were not so bad after all. They paid for everything they broke and even tidied up after themselves. They've still got the feather bolster to this day. No electric light, though. At least not yet. That was my tale of light. Thanks for watching.
Well, hi everyone. My name's Amy, and this is my tale of light. Did you know that if you were to go out your front door to the end of the street, turn left on the main road, follow the fields, over the river, and not stop till tea time, you might just get to the mountains before dark? Don't forget, you need a coat. and a hat. It's cold up there, and dark, and there are shadows. Where there are mountains, there are valleys, and where there are valleys, there are villages, and where there are villages, there are little houses. And if you were to look closely into one particular little house, the one with the snowy roof, you might see Demelza and her box of light. Demelza collected light.
If I see it, I take it and I keep it.
Sometimes, in the evening, people would be walking home along the village street. The sun would go down and they would be plunged into darkness. Oh, for goodness sake! Demelza has taken the bulb out of the street lamp again. Flaming torches were plucked from the hands of late-night ice skaters, leaving them stranded in the middle of the lake, not knowing which way was home. Demelza! It's even been known for old Tom to sit down to light his pipe, only for his matches to be gone. Demelza. Now, Demelza, if you were to ask her, would give you a variety of reasons for needing the light.
Number 1, on nights when the cloud covers the moon and the stars, I can't find my way home. Number 2, it's always good to be prepared for any eventuality. You never know when there might be a power cut. Number 3, it's really annoying when you can't see the lock to get your key into it. Number 4,
I don't know what number Demelza went up to, and all those reasons are probably true, but she has left one out. Demelza was afraid of the dark. She was afraid of the shadows. Every night, when the sun went down, the mountain shadow would loom overhead like a sharp-toothed monster. Trees would become ogres, steeples would become witches. Demelza had every reason to be afraid. One night, at the end of a long, dark winter, Demelza was walking home alone. Glancing to her left, she was sure she saw a troll, but she took a deep breath and reminded herself that it was a shadow. Just a shadow. No reason to be afraid. But then peeking to her right, she's sure she sees a troll. She takes a deep breath. Reminds herself that it's a shadow. It's just a shadow. No reason to be afraid. But then, up ahead, she sees something move and all of a sudden she's certain. It's a werewolf. There's no deep breath. Just panic. Demelza opens her box of light and she has one solitary match in the bottom of the box. One solitary match. No match for a werewolf. Chills begin to take over Demelza's body. She can't catch her breath, can't move. She's frozen, but she's sweating. Just then, she hears a whisper to her left. Demelza, light the match. Another voice to her right. Demelza, light the match. In front of her, behind her, all around, voices. Demelza, light the match. Demelza runs the match along the cobbled floor and it bursts into life. The shadows remain, but in its tiny glow, she sees an arm holding out a candle. She lights it, and in its glow, she sees another arm holding out another candle, and another, and another. Demelza sees light being passed from one villager to another, and as the light grows, the shadows recede, and there is no goblin, and there are no witches, and there's definitely no werewolf. From the back of the crowd, somebody passes a bulb forward, and as old Tom lifts Demelza onto his shoulders to replace it, he says,
you see, Demelza, light is brighter when it's shared. And where the light is, darkness cannot be.
So that was my tale of light. Thanks for watching.
Hello, I'm Peter, and this is my tale of light. The Scaryglow by Peter Steele. This is the tale of a monster, one you won't know, about a creature in the forest called the Scaryglow. He lives alone in the dark, some say underground. at the foot of the mountain next to the town. Rumours spread through the town of a beast in the wood, a beast that was scary and up to no good. He's big and slimy, he's covered in flies, he's made of fire, don't look into his eyes. Next to the forest lived George, aged 8, whose love for adventure was rather great. And one evening, when George was tucked up in bed, he heard a loud noise that filled him with dread. It came from the forest, a horrible howl. But what made this noise? Was it something quite foul? This is silly, thought George. I'm big and brave. No silly sound will make me afraid. And so he snuck down the stairs and crept out the door. Monsters aren't real. I'm off to explore. He ran across the field as fast as he could and finally stood at the edge of the wood. He made his way through the trees, careful and slow, time to prove there was no Scaryglow. Then, with a snort and a howl, something drew close. Was it the terrible beast that people feared most? So he ran and ran through the tall trees. Someone help me, please. He then came to a stop with an almighty whack, running straight into a tree and landing flat on his back. Go away, Scaryglow. I won't be your next meal. Scaryglow, said a voice. My name is Bill. And George looked up, and to his surprise, he saw a huge fluffy creature with big friendly eyes. No slime, no fire, no flies to be seen. This monster wasn't scary and he didn't seem mean. But why are you howling? Asked George, confused by the sight. It was rather scary, you know. You gave me a fright. And Bill shed a tear and let out a moan. I was crying, you see. I feel so alone. I just want to make friends and laugh and play. But when people meet me, they just run away. Friends? Asked George. Well, you can be mine. And you'll make more, I promise. It'll just take time. But I need to get home now. And, well, it's too dark to see. And Bill said with a smile, well, just follow me. I know what it's like to feel lost and alone. I'll light the way and get you back home. And Bill clenched his fists and swayed to and fro. And then his big fluffy tummy started to glow. A tummy that glows like a big bright light, perfect for seeing in the dark late at night. Nearly home, just a few steps more, then George noticed his mum stood at the door. With tears in her eyes, she then ran down the path, shouting, No! Please, Scaryglow, let my son go! It's okay, Mum, George said. You don't understand. He's the friendliest monster in all the land. I was lost in the dark and very alone, and Bill lit the way and helped me get home. And George's mum looked the monster straight in the eye and said, Thank you, Bill, as she wiped her eyes dry. I misjudged, and I'm sorry. Please forgive me. And she invited him in for a nice cup of tea. And George's mum promised to put things right, and they laughed and talked all through the night. And that's the tale, one you now know, about Bill from the forest whose tummy did glow. People misjudged him, but they soon made amends, and now Bill is happy and has lots of friends. The end. That was my tale of light. Thanks for watching.